about real quick on the mortgage side is the e-closing. So, Connecticut and most of the states in the Northeast, they don't allow 100% paperless closing. But one thing I've really seen take hold in the last couple of weeks or month has been what we call the hybrid e-close, or an express e-closing. So what it allows you to do if you're buying a home or refinancing a home is it allows you to sign as a buyer or homeowner. You can sign like 85% of the documents for your closing on your computer, on your tablet, on your smartphone before the closing, like the morning of. Typically you'll do that. I mean, I've had buyers going through these documents in like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, where if you were to sit there with an attorney or notary, it could take 45 minutes to an hour. So now you're doing this online e-close using technology before the closing. You're signing 80+% of the documents. So then when you go to the attorney or real estate office to finalize everything, all you have to sign is the recorded documents, or the ones that are required by the state that be wet signed with an ink pen. So you're taking a closing, from, I would say, probably 45 minutes to an hour, maybe even longer, and whittling that down to 15, 20 minutes. So it's a huge advantage. And I saw this coming, like it was something that was starting to be talked about even back in January before any of this took hold. But now we've zoomed. Like I'm thinking we got ahead like a year of where we would have been, where now this is like pretty much if you have a smartphone or tablet, you're comfortable electronically signing documents, there's no reason not to do it. I am hopeful that in the next couple of months, there might be some legislation passed that will allow the entire closing to be done online and through the use of technology, and have a complete e-close. I believe there's 7 states in the United States that allow a complete e-close, where you do not need to wet sign any documents, but it's up to the local states and the local jurisdictions to allow that. So again, these are positive things that are coming out of this whole COVID-19, is like the real estate industry, the mortgage industry is being catapulted years ahead, okay, of where we were. It's making these properties so much easier to buy, so much easier to sell, so much easier to close. Talk to people that bought a home in the 80s or in the 90s, okay, what the process was like versus even a year ago with technology, and now today. Okay, just in the last year, we have come so far, and really this has catapulted really in the last 30 days, I would say, because there's no choice. It's not, do you want to do it this way? It's, this is the way that we're doing it. If you want to buy a house, these are the tools we're using, and the e-close is not required. Okay, I ask my clients if they want to do it or not, and I would say, maybe 85 to 90% are saying, absolutely, I want to do that. Like, of course, because then you're not having to spend as much time, as we said, with the attorney and whatnot. Have you been involved or know of any of the e-closings going on, and what do you think of the technology?
So I do. I have one coming up, and I think it's fantastic. It is very time consuming when you have to, the day of closing, go to the attorney's office, sit there for definitely sometimes up to an hour. My buyers have to take a day off of work. So now it's possible where they get it all through secure email or whatever the database the attorney's using. They sign everything. And like you said, for example, Monday I have a closing. They're doing it outside, whatever needs that wet signature. It's going to be so quick and they're done. So it's definitely helpful. It's the time. It's what's needed now.
It is, and if you're watching or listening here and you're wondering about e-close, maybe you're in the process and nobody's talked to you about this. Well, it's unfortunate, but not every company is doing this, okay? And you need to be working with a real estate agent and a lender that are on the innovation of technology, that are bringing this stuff into their practices. You can do it the other way, but these just create so much efficiencies. And one of the main things that I love about the e-close is not only the time, but I can tell you, I've been doing this now over 17 years, and it's a scenario where I've had so many closings where the attorney, who's independent, they don't work for the realtor, they don't work for the lender, and the attorney will miss a signature on a document, okay, or miss an initial or miss a date, and they send that into the mortgage company to get their funding authorization, and the entire thing is held up because, oh, your buyer forgot to initial page 4 of the loan application, or this or that. With this electronic closing, in the express closing we're talking about, most, as we said, of these documents are done electronically, so there's no way you can miss a signature. You can't miss a date because it's done through a computer. If you do, it'll take you back. It won't let you complete the process until you do that. So I have not had one missed signature. I have not had one missed date, not one missed initial on any of these e-closings. And even just so far this year, like January, February, I had 2 different transactions where the attorney literally had to drive to the buyer's house after the closing to get another signature or to get an initial done or to get something re-signed that was signed with the wrong date. Okay. And I'm not saying it's impossible, because obviously these wet sign docs like the mortgage note and whatnot do have to be signed correctly, but it's a lot easier for an attorney or notary to have you sign 20 pages and be diligent versus 120 pages. Okay. Because when you start going through all those and you get to the end, everybody's hand is tired. Everybody's ready to go home and just get this done with. And we're all human. Errors do get made. So the error rate has gone down significantly. And I guess the moral of this story is, like, make sure you're working with a lender and realtor that are embracing this stuff. Ask them up front, you know, are you using the e-close process? What technology are you using for the entire home buying and mortgage processing? And if you're not working with a lender or realtor that's doing that, then maybe it's time to look at somebody else. You want to make sure you've got the top-notch experts and real professionals working in your best interest on your wealth team. So with that said, Lindsay, for people that are hearing this and they're watching this and they want to know how to get in contact with you, either to list their property or buy a property, can you go ahead and give them the best way to reach out and how to find you online?
Yes, so my phone number, I'll give that out, 203-942-6617. I love phone calls, text messaging. I can answer to either. My email I'll provide as well, which is lindsay.gaudioso@cvmoves.com. I am with Coldwell Banker Realty here in Newtown, but I do cover all of Connecticut. And any social media platform, you can find me with Listing with Lindsay. That's kind of my tagline. So you can go on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok. I'm all over Listing with Lindsay. So I'm always available, can chat, any questions, see how I can help you.
Absolutely. And appreciate your time, Lindsay. I'm sure this is a huge value to everybody that's watching and listening out there. As always, this is Robert Weinberg, Benchmark Mortgage, signing off. We hope it helps. Stay safe, and we'll talk to you soon.